Hi, this is Drive Safe Dave out here at the Trucking Jamboree. And yes, the 43rd annual, we have Kate out here with her beautiful truck. What is her name?
Cherry Pie.
Cherry Pie out here on the super trucks. Tell us a little bit about your W900.
All right, well, this is Cherry Pie, and she is actually the first truck I've ever owned.
Wow.
Yep, I got involved in trucking about 8 years ago, attended my first truck show as a health coach, helping truckers. So safety, yes, helping with blood pressure, all that kind of stuff. And I just fell in love with the truck shows. I fell in love with the people, the trucks, their personality, everything, it just showed. And I'm like, I gotta be a part of this. And I fell in love with these A's. They're the ones that I kept going by, and I'm like, oh, that's a cool truck, that's a cool truck. And so I was driving a back road, found her sitting, and it took me a year to get the guy to sell it.
I had to talk him into it.
And yeah, just when first time I had her, I just got her buffed out and played around at some small shows with her and did some truck pulling. And we decided to add the double eagle bunk, and that started the whole restoration process.
Yeah, I noticed that you've got, I looked on here, I tried to find some oil, I tried to find some grime. You're not, this is a show truck, isn't it?
She is retired.
She is retired, I get it. I 100% understand. She is a pretty. What is your favorite thing about this truck right here? The favorite, you had to pick one thing out on this truck.
Okay, yeah.
What is it?
Mainly because of what it represents is her hardwood maple floor. It is a one-piece Kenworth maple floor. Why it's key is I then started truck driving. Once I fell in love with the trucks, I changed my career and picked up truck driving. And I haul furniture, and one of my furniture manufacturers does oak and maple products. And they made me a custom maple floor for this truck.
I'm gonna. Wow. I mean, no mud, no tracking mud up in that, is it?
No. So besides, that, and along with the story to the heart windows, they're custom 1970s heart windows. Took us forever to find them, but the vanning community out there came through for me, and we got them located.
So let me ask you a quick question. I noticed that you had calendars. You were handing them out. You're handing out your truck. How many shows have you actually put her in?
We got her finished in March. So we got her, it took 3 years to get her back from the painter. It took a long time. From there, it was friends and family, putting her together 3 months straight. They don't even answer their phones anymore.
I understand.
Yeah.
Too many favors been called in.
Too many favors. So 3 months of putting her together, we got her to Louisville.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, and so that was the big goal. And so she's been to Louisville. From Louisville, we got the invitation to go to the Kenworth first annual truck parade.
Nice.
So then we went to Springfield for the ATHS, and then from there we went to the Kenworth show, and then now we're here.
Now you're at the Trucking Jamboree.
Now we're here.
Where is she going next?
Rantoul.
All right, and there you have an opportunity. If you don't see her here now, here at the Trucking Jamboree, you'll have an opportunity to see her there, and you as well, Kate, right?
Absolutely.
All right, we do appreciate it, man.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, and thank you for this beautiful, beautiful truck.
Yeah, excellent.
All right,
All right, we are back at BCB Live. We're at the truck stop, the largest truck stop, Drive Safe Dave, and we're here at the truck
in the
show.
universe. We just went in the universe. The world, right? But we went universe.
All right, so we have trucks here, but here is what I'm seeing is an amazing trailer. And Drive Safe Dave, we have Tony
with Top Notch Trucking, right?
It's either Tony or Tommy. I couldn't remember which way.
Tony with Top Notch.
All right, Tony with Top Notch. And we're going to talk a little bit about the trailer. Drive Safe, I'm going to turn it over to you. Here you go, Tony. We're going to hold that mic up there.
Hey, Tony, how you doing, first of all?
I'm good.
How's the show so far?
I've been having a great time.
I mean, let me ask you.
It's the first show I've ever been in, and I'm having a ball.
We come out here and we look at a lot of trucks, right? We got a lot of trucks, a lot of unique trucks, a lot of fantastic trucks.
Everywhere.
Yeah, but we get here, and there's something a little bit different about your truck opposed to the other trucks, and it has to do with your trailer.
Yes, sir.
Your trailer's pretty amazing. This is not a wrap, and it's different from the other side. Right now we're looking at this side, but this right here, tell us a little bit about this trailer and this thing on the side.
My boss, Marcel, he actually designed this, drew it on paper with pencils, colored pencils and all that. And there's these two ladies that work for him that took it from a picture and put it on the trailer. No fancy gimmicky, just literally look at the picture and start painting. Took them 3 months to do both sides combined.
Hand painted.
Hand painted.
Let's walk down here as
all
we
the way
get going
to
down
the little
trailer.
tiny brushes you might see.
So you walked up, I thought, oh, that's
portrait.
just a wrap. I did, and then I walked up, I'm like, No, those are brush strokes.
Yeah, and you can feel them.
Oh, yeah.
You can feel them through the 6 coats of clear coat that were put on to make sure it doesn't get damaged.
No, it doesn't get, yeah, you can see it. It's pretty amazing.
Yeah, and like I said, my boss, he designed this, drew it out on paper. These ladies put it on. The rest of the crew did the trim, the top, and then clear coated it all. This trailer took 3 months to be done. He's only owned it for 6 or 7 months.
Right, I got you.
He bought it right at the first of the year.
But it's a work truck. I mean, it's a work trailer. Absolutely.
There's a load in it now.
There's a load in there now. It may not get there on time because of the show, but we got the load and we got it up.
Well, we were smart enough to pick a load that we could get it there when we felt like it.
That's okay. We're not worried about on time
It's a full reefer trailer. We haul refrigerated freight.
Nice.
Of course, right now, refrigerated freight doesn't pay worth it. It's actually pays better to haul dry freight.
Yeah, it's crazy though. I was going to say this better not be a reefer load because it's not running.
No.
We might even be paying for that load. But let me ask you. So
what I like is the detail. It's incredibly detailed.
Oh yeah, you walk through, you can see this rooster. It's got like 19 different colors, or this chicken, or whatever this is. I'm not sure what it is, but it's either a rooster or a chicken. I think they're both the same birds, just one's male and female. But I'll tell you what, it is. This is amazing. So how many people do you have to talk to out here on the show about this trailer?
Pretty much everybody that walks up.
Everybody that walks by, right?
There's some people ignore it and keep walking. Well, have a good day.
And then once they look at this side, they're drawn to the other side, right?
Right. And now you can kind of look at it. The owner's theme is basically the 4 seasons: spring, summer, winter, fall, and it wraps around. But there's also another theme that me and my wife kind of noticed. Anybody that's, from the old days, not nowadays because everything's factory farm and they grow everything anywhere.
Right.
But the kind of vegetables and stuff growing here.
Right, I got you.
Used to be primarily a certain part of the country, right?
Right, I got you.
Melons were most famous out of like South Texas and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Pumpkins tended to be the Midwest.
Right.
And the northern states. Over here, apples, Washington, New York.
Yep.
And then over here, little small town. Now, that tractor right there, my uncle, when I was 11 years old, had one just like it. And I used to use it working the fields for my uncle when I was 11. Let's not discuss how long ago that was. Over here, you got the apple. The detail that these ladies and my boss put into it. Look at that apple.
I almost reached up to eat one. I'm telling you right now, I almost reached up to grab one off the tree.
Now, anyone's ever been around a live apple tree, when they fall to the ground, what happens? They rot. They start turning colors. Come look at these apples. You can see the color change. You can see them starting to go bad on the ground. They put a lot of detail into this toy. And I get to have the fun of driving around the country watching people stare at me. It's a lot of fun.
So I got one more question before we go.
Yes, sir.
Before we get going on this trailer, let's go back here. I got a superstar that we want to introduce down here on the ground. We got to talk to the superstar over here. Let's see what we got going on here. Let's see if we can talk to who is your travel buddy right here.
That is my wife's little dog. He's 7 years old. His name is Badger Jr., called BJ for short. And don't discuss what my daughter makes of that. Yeah,
and let me ask you a question. He's kind of stealing the show a little bit too, right?
We can't walk around without people wanting to take pictures of him.
But he's got a leather jacket on too. Where'd that leather jacket come from?
Actually, my wife and daughter found that for him at a music festival in our hometown of Pahrump, Nevada. They had a booth out there that had them. They got the black one for him, and we have a female dog named Chewy, who's like 70 pounds. They got her a pink one to match because, well,
I was kind of thinking maybe
let's just say they were a couple.
Yeah.
And we have their puppies at home.
It looks kind of like it.
Sure I
almost looked at him and thought maybe he was in a dog gang. I wasn't sure if he was in a dog gang.
He's just a hard ass.
He just. Well, I'll tell you what, Tony, I do appreciate it, man. You're with Top Notch Trucking, right?
Yes, sir.
And yeah, where do y'all run?
Primarily, we run from Vegas to the East Coast and back. I-40, I-80.
Right, I got you.
Obviously, I'm heading to New York with this load, and it'll be taken across the border to deliver and then brought back to me because I don't cross the border.
Right, I got you. It is what it is.
We do another loads down I-40. We're going to Atlanta, going to North Carolina. Mostly dry goods, but he's getting into the refrigerated freight. He actually bought this because I've been driving reefer 15 out of my 20 plus years.
Right.
He decided, well, let's get a trailer that take advantage of the fact I have an experienced refrigerated driver.
Well, I'll tell you what, I won't steal you from the show, but man, I'm glad that you brought this truck. I'm glad that you brought this trailer. Great story, great addition to the truck show out here at the 43rd annual truck show here at the Jamboree, right?
I appreciate it.
All right, man. We thank you for your service. We thank you for what you do out there on the road too.
Thank you very much.
All right, man. Thanks, Tony. Hey, before you get out of here, before we go, you got to see your name, who you're with, and that you're watching BCB Live, the safest station in the nation. Can you do that?
I can do that.
All right.
My name's Tony. I'm with Top Notch Carriers from Pahrump, Nevada, and I watch BCB Live.
The safest station in the nation.
The safest station in the nation.
All right. Thanks,
Be safe,
Tony.
everybody.
All right. Thanks, Tony.
BCB Live, the safest station in the nation. BCB Live covers freight. Here we are now at 21% of record freight being rejected. News
down in Texas. We're going to talk a little bit about this. We had another $1.5 million seizure. If ever there's a time to do a pre or post trip, it's if you're doing something wrong.
weather, traffic.
Hey, good morning, everybody. Welcome to some traffic and weather with Buckle Up Bob. You can kind of see where the visibility can be compromised a little bit. Again, right where that rain is.
And most importantly, safety.
One of the things that we must do is make sure that safety is the number one thing that we focus on.
Going into an intersection yellow is not the way. That's to clear an intersection, not to enter an intersection.
Tune in weekdays from 7 a.m. to 8 a.m. Central Standard Time. You can watch BCB Live through LinkedIn, YouTube, or Facebook. So what are you waiting for? Subscribe today and follow BCB Live.
Hey, this is Drive Safe Dave here out here at the Trucking Jamboree. I'm here with Tim Fight in front of his beautiful truck here that celebrates and recognizes the U.S. military. Hey, Tim, tell us a little bit about this truck.
I decided to do a tribute truck for the military, and I just started throwing things around a little bit, and I came up with this idea, so I went to Flint, Michigan and picked up a donor truck.
A Mack?
A Dodge one-ton chassis cab truck from Flint, Michigan, drove it home in January with no heat.
Right.
And then I stripped it all down, sold the cab and everything for $2,000, and I got $1,000 into the running gear. And then this is a Mack RB model.
Mack.
That I got out of a junkyard for $1,100.
There you go.
And then the tires are from South Dakota. Everything, 90% of this truck is all junkyard stuff.
Which is good stuff.
Yes, this is a super rat rod.
It's good stuff. You know what? Let me just tell you, number one, it is an eye catcher out here. And as we're out here talking about it, and we're talking about this truck has actually made national news, hasn't it?
Yes.
Why don't you tell us about that?
This truck here is the governor of Minnesota was actually driving down the freeway and pulled up next to me and was waving his hand and showing thumbs up, over this truck. And this truck is, we've been to Fort Carson with it, we've been to Vegas with it, we go to all military bases.
Right, I got you.
To honor the troops. We even go to Navy, Air Force bases. And we stay on the Air Force bases and the Navy bases and the Army bases. We just went to Daytona for the turkey run, and the truck, they did a magazine shoot on it.
Which magazine?
Magazine is Diesel World magazine.
So you can get that, and you can read all about what you do and a little bit more in detail about the truck, right?
Yes, it's an August edition. It's got a blue truck on the front cover, but it's got the centerfold of my truck in there.
Let me tell you, it's got some pretty cool stuff back here. Let's walk back here on this fifth wheel. You got this flagpole. I want to make sure everybody sees this. Not only does it have the stars and bars on it, but it's also got the POW and MIA flag.
Yes, my father-in-law got me the steel and stuff, and I went and got a kingpin from Blaine Brothers in Minnesota, and I welded it up, and that's the flagpole that's at my front door 365 days a year if I don't have it on my truck.
Oh, okay, good. So I got you.
So it goes up to 30 feet.
So you can telescope it up even higher than
what it is.
Yeah. Are you running down the road with it like this?
No, we lower it down to the point right there where they double stack. And it's about 12'6".
Do you pull the flags off of it before you pull it?
No, I leave the one flag on it, the American flag.
Okay, good. Nice.
Yes.
And you had nothing but, I'm just going to say, I bet you've had nothing but great response from the American public and truckers out there looking at this vehicle.
Oh yeah, they love it. I judge my work by smiles. When people look at it and go, "You're sick."
Yeah, absolutely.
You know, and the kids love it, and I've had kids in wheelchairs sit inside it and stuff like that. But when they walk around the back and they read the license plate, that's when they start laughing.
Yeah, you know what? It's a great tribute vehicle. It's fantastic. What are your plans coming up in the near future? I know you're doing the Trucking Jamboree right now. So are you headed anywhere in the near future?
We're going to another truck show. This one here, the big classic by Rochester, Minnesota.
Right.
We're going there September 10th or 11th or something like that. We got a big show there.
So what's driving you to do this? I mean, I get the beautiful truck. I get you turned this junk into a work of art, right?
Yep,
Basically,
yep.
right?
Oh yeah.
You turned it into a work of art. What drives you to want to do this for the military? What drives you?
It's it's a big honor being being accepted into the military,
right,
and the military family. If most of the time people don't understand about being in the military, they take you in like a family.
Right.
If it doesn't matter if you're a Marine or Navy or anybody. They hold a little bit of grudges, but it's
don't mess with them. We can mess with each other.
I know,
but don't mess with them outside the military, right?
I used to haul Pershing 2 missiles, nuclear weapons.
Right, I got you.
I used to be in field artillery. I was.
By the way,
transportation.
that means he's truck driving for the military.
Yeah.
I want you to know that. What's that MOS?
64 Charlie.
64 Charlie. That's a truck driving MOS out there. Just so y'all know what we're talking about.
Oh yeah. I went into service 2 days after I turned 17.
There you go.
Had my mom and dad sign for me. Both of them were divorced, and they were sitting at the table, and they were.
Yeah, you're out of here.
Yeah, they wanted. Yeah.
You're out of here.
They were divorced, so they didn't want to be in the kitchen too long together. They just signed the paperwork, and out the door I went.
Nice.
So first duty assignment, Korea.
Nice.
Fort Carson, field artillery. Then went to Pershing missiles. 56 Field Artillery Brigade in Germany.
Nice.
And then I went to the
Where in Germany was that? Wait a minute, where was that at? Is that in, that's?
Swedish Kommune, Germany.
Swedish Kommune, Germany.
Yeah, which is south of Stuttgart.
Okay, I got you.
And then we supplied, I was in service battery, so we supplied both nuclear companies in New Ulm and Heilbronn.
Well, I'll tell you what, number one, I want to first thank you for your service.
Thank you.
Number two, I want to thank you for the opportunity to check this vehicle out, because this is first of all, my wife, I'm just gonna be honest, my wife wouldn't ride this with me. I mean, I don't think she would. I mean, but I love this truck. This truck is a beauty.
Okay, the seats inside, all my cars have had aluminum bomber seats. These are heated and air conditioned.
Oh,
seats.
Now you're talking.
Genuine leather, swivel, and they're 8-way adjustable.
Now she's in.
She's in.
Right, yeah, you know what I'm saying? Now she's in.
I bought them just for that lady there.
Oh, your wife?
Yes.
Do you let your wife drive your truck?
She won't drive a stick. She doesn't know how to drive a stick.
Oh, okay. But it's still a beautiful truck.
Well, thank you.
Man, I tell you what, I
appreciate
hope, did you, out here at the Jamboree, man, I look forward for you at the next truck show.
Yes.
The Big Iron Classic next week in Minnesota, next month in Minnesota.
Yep.
But while we're here, I hope you get a lot of thank yous. I hope you get a lot of smiles, and I hope you get a great understanding of our appreciation for what you're doing out there in the United States.
I judge all my work by smiles.
There you go. I like it. All right, hey, everybody, you get an opportunity. You're out here at the Jamboree. Make sure you walk by Mr. Fite's truck here and check out this. Salute the flag, look at the truck, and you know what? Give him a big old smile, because that's how he judges his work, man. We got it going on. All right, thank you very much.
Thank you.
All right, this is Drive Safe Dave with BCB Live. We are back live here at the show, and I just want to make sure, Amy, welcome back to the show.
Hi.
She's walking around pointing out all the problems going on. She's hiding her eyes and going OSHA violation, in and out, all around. First of all, Amy, tell us who you are and who you're with. We want to make sure everybody knows what's going on.
Hi everyone, I'm Amy Russa. I'm the CEO and founder of the Safety Rack.
which is a YouTube channel designed to talk about women's PPE and workwear and close the gender gap on that industry.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, there's a lot of things, you know, when you talk safety equipment 15, 20 years ago, it was one size fits all, right?
Yes.
And now it's not that way
No.
anymore. Now we found ways to make it better, safer, fashionable. Heck, Sir Rick walks around in PPE 24/7. I think he has pajamas.
I have heard this, and slippers to go with it.
It's PPE slippers. And you know what? It's not okay. There's a problem right there. Honestly, there's a problem.
Should we have an intervention today?
We should talk about it. And going on. So anything new going on that you want to bring up?
The YouTube channel's growing, so if you are out there trying to look for women's workwear and PPE, definitely head over to YouTube for the Safety Rack and hit subscribe. I have new content coming out.
All right.
Yeah.
Like how can they get to it? What do they need to do? How do they get there on YouTube? What do they look up?
Just look up the Safety Rack.
The Safety Rack. Make sure you get an opportunity to log on, and tune in anytime,
Yeah.
right?
Yep.
See what it's got. You got any special guests on lately?
I don't, but I will be launching the podcast next month.
All right, and
Yeah.
we're excited about that. Amy, you have a special guest in the house,
Do.
and I just want to, it's Dad, isn't it?
It's Dad.
Hey, Dad. All right, so Dad, give Dad the mic for a second. Hey, Dad, how
Hi
you
there.
doing? Drive Safe Dave here. It's nice to meet you.
Good to meet you too.
All right, let's talk for a minute. Former truck driver.
Yes.
How long did you drive a truck?
I started in 1986. I just retired last November.
So you've been driving basically since '86.
Yes.
Over the road mostly?
No, actually city mostly.
Mostly city. Run
Yes.
last mile type delivery?
LTL.
LTL?
My last career was LTL.
Was it really? And then, so over the career, and I'm just going to ask, how has it changed dramatically, would you say, as far as safety equipment within the truck, from when you started in '86 to where it is to the last truck you got in?
I showed her a Peterbilt out here, a Peterbilt cab over. And that was the truck that I learned on. And I remember going through the mountain passes with a 350 Cummins, no engine brake. And now, my last truck, my Peterbilt, I just throw the engine brake on. When they give you a speed to go down the hill at, believe that. Do what they say.
Yeah, absolutely.
Put it in that gear and just hit the brake, and you would just go down. I'd never sweat it. You know, back in 1986, yeah, you were just wanting to get down the bottom without.
Yeah, you actually got out and looked at your brakes.
Yes.
You actually
Yes.
got out and checked them because you wanted to make sure they were basically ready
Yes.
to go down the hill, because if you didn't,
Yeah.
you were going to be sorry before you got to the
And
bottom.
that's one thing that really I saw as a problem in the company I work with the fleet is guys get lazy. They don't look. Every trip you walk around, look.
Yeah.
You know, and look at your brakes. And when you're using equipment that somebody else has been, and then you get it and you see that the axle, boy, you've got an axle's leaking here, and you know, and how many guys pulled that and never bothered to look at it?
I think that's a real big important thing, and I think what we're trying to do is what we're focusing on here, and when we talk about in BCB Live, that pre-trip, how necessary it is to make it happen, and you've been doing it a long time.
Yes.
The basics never go away.
No.
The
No.
Truly, the basics never go away. I don't care if you drive an old Pete or a brand new Pete. Those basic fundamental safety things never go away.
And you know how to do it because you had to do it to get your license in the first place.
Yeah, absolutely. And all you can do, if you do it, you practice it, you just get better.
Yes.
So, and I would say over the years, if you had to tell and you had to pull a guy aside who's just starting out 1 year away, what's that? That's the one big piece of advice you would give them. Hey,
Don't take it for granted.
Don't
take
take
it for
anything
granted
for
that
granted.
this equipment is okay to drive.
yeah, because it's not.
No.
It's not
No.
okay till you say it's okay.
Yes.
Because
Yes.
it doesn't matter what name's on the side. It doesn't matter who pulled it last. When you get in it and you drive it, guess who owns it?
Yes.
The driver owns it, and that's what we got to realize. We got to understand. And if you own it, you got to do it. You got to drive it like you own it, right?
And me personally, I never wanted somebody to get into a piece of equipment that I just got out of
Right,
and
absolutely.
find something wrong with it. It's my stamp of approval was on it. My
Absolutely.
reputation when you got in that truck or you're pulling that trailer.
I already knew it was wrong.
I looked.
Yeah,
yes.
I already turned in a DVIR.
Yeah.
I had already done that. Yeah.
And yes, and
I'd already. I knew it first because I was
Yeah.
just in it. And not only and you talk about that, we talk about pre-trips a lot. That post-trip is important
post trip.
as well.
You go to a terminal and you watch guys come in
And they jump out.
Then they back into the door and they pull the pin and they drop it, and you didn't look. And you just drove 400 miles to get here, and you didn't look at anything. And
that is not a stamp of approval, is it?
No.
And what else out there as you drive and as you were driving? I know not now, you don't drive now, but you've got a lot of years of experience behind you, a lot of miles underneath your wings. What's the other one thing out there on the road? Now, I know what you do before you get out on the road when you get back. What's that one thing you want to tell them to be aware of when you're out there on the road?
I was asked once, I used to be on a safety committee for the company I worked for, and I can't say I had a perfect record. I had some, and every accident I ever had where you turn and you scrape somebody, it's because you're thinking of what you're going to be doing. I got this delivery, are they going to be there? And you got to stay in the moment and pay attention to what you're doing right at that time. Yes.
Yeah, I'm telling you that one of the hardest things to do, we talk about it all the time and we bring it up here on the show, and we want to reiterate it, is that driving a truck is so complicated, or driving at all. I don't care if you're in a 4-wheeler or if you're in an 18-wheeler. I don't really care. There's so much going on. You don't have time for that computer to spin for a minute while it thinks, because then you've had an accident. You don't have time for your brain to stop and put on pause a moment when you're out there. You've got to make sure that you're focused on what you're doing and paying attention just like you are in the moment, being prepared for what may come, but never be in a hurry, because I think that's when we start thinking too far ahead, we start getting in a hurry in what we're doing.
And one thing I recommend, and I've been fortunate that 2 places that I worked put me through the Smith system.
Yeah, the Smith system works.
And it's if you don't know what it is, or you never go look it up. It's a real thing.
Yeah, we talk about it here on the show. You know what I like about the Smith system? It's an effort to make you aware of what you're doing and how to drive. And I think it's a process in which you can apply in your everyday driving, and it can be applied to anyone.
Yes.
It doesn't matter if you're in a big truck or if you're in a full personal vehicle. It doesn't really matter as long as you're involved. Hey, I appreciate your service out there on the road. I mean,
thank you for what you're doing.
Yeah, let me tell you, we had an opportunity when we had COVID to really appreciate the drivers for the first time, and I think a long time, right? We've had a real rare opportunity, a real rare moment to look over and realize what heroic activity is happening out there on the road, right? I mean, genuinely understand and appreciate what drivers do. Because a lot of the times we lose sight of, we take for granted that it's on the shelf. We take for granted that it's there when we need it. We take for granted the clothes that we have on our back that we buy, and it
all came on a truck. Somewhere.
Everything came on a truck. Even if it came on a train, it came on a truck when it got here.
Yes.
I mean, it didn't get to the train by air. I mean, it came on. It got to the train on a truck. I'm just saying, it all came on a truck, and even when it comes on a boat, it goes on a truck.
Yes.
So I'll tell you, we got to understand, we got to appreciate, we got to remember what we're doing. I want to thank you for your service out there.
Thank you.
Thanks for bringing your dad by. Are y'all enjoy the show today? And I'm telling you, stop by and get. Have you ever been to I-80 truck stop before?
Oh yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, I tell you what. Have you had the pork chop sandwich before?
Yes, I have.
Yeah. I'm telling you, I keep talking about it, and I don't know, but I got to go get me one here in a minute. I hope y'all have a great day. Enjoy the show. Thanks for stopping by, and we look forward to your podcast soon.
Thank you.
We'll be back in just a minute. I think Sir Rick's got somebody lined up with a challenge. See you in just a second on BCB Live, the safest station in the nation. This segment has been brought to you by Utility ProWear. Utility ProWear manufactures high quality, ANSI certified, high visibility apparel for both men and women. Infused with the Teflon fabric protector, Utility ProWear gives you the added benefit of providing a barrier to liquids, dirt, and grime, keeping you cleaner longer, brighter longer, and therefore safer longer. Get your high visibility apparel by going to utilityprowear.com. Use the code BCB20 at checkout for an exclusive discount. Hi, this is David Dover, also known as Drive Safe Dave. You are watching BCB Live, the safest station in the nation.
Safety is what you want to talk about, and safety is what you want to be every single day. That's what we're here for. We're here to make it better.
The industry needs BCB Live so that it can find new and inventive ways to bring safety to the forefront for every single person out there on the road. You got to be prepared to stop, and when you look at that and you understand the situation that you're in, you got to know that it's going to change. You got to expect it to change, and you can't run those lights. You can watch BCB Live weekdays, 7 a.m. to 8 a.m. Central Standard Time. So what are you waiting for? Follow and subscribe to BCB Live today.
Good morning, welcome back to BCB Live, the safest station in the nation. You got Double Check Dale here, going to talk a little bit of weather and some safety, and look at some videos. Got Alyssa running the control boards, doing a fantastic job. Thank you for that. You know, we're going to jump right into weather, and I'm going to tell you folks, as far as weather goes, there is not a lot happening wind-wise. Nothing really going on at all right now. I mean, the orange is where there's some stronger gusts or some stronger winds, but no major gusts right now. Kick that into the afternoon hours. We see some stronger winds up in northern Wyoming, northwestern Wyoming, parts of Idaho, probably the higher elevations. A little bit of a disturbance here in the Texas Panhandle. But when we look at the rain and thunderstorms, you're going to see that there's a thunderstorm right around that time. There are some chance of it. And that's really what's causing the winds. You know, we go to overnight hours and everything's really pretty calm. Nothing major going on with the winds today. So, you know, a pretty nice day out there to be driving. We'll take a look at the rain and thunder and see who's going to get thunderstorms or chances of them today. You know, currently there's a thunderstorm going on up through central Iowa. It starts up in the north corner and works its way across the state. Nothing major with that one, nothing severe predicted with that. Another thunderstorm down in southern Mississippi. Again, not severe by any means. As we go into this afternoon, and we start to pick up some showers again along the Gulf Coast, the southern parts of the Gulf Coast states, Mississippi, Alabama, Georgia. You know, that one in Mississippi looks like it has the potential to get a little bit severe and heavy. And as it goes a little bit later, about the 5 o'clock hour, that storm starts to spread out a little bit more, and we're seeing it move over into Alabama. Florida and Georgia are also getting some pretty heavy rains, or chance of pretty heavy rains this afternoon. Lots of lightning going on with all those storms, but like I said, just nothing major or severe going on. We kick it to about 11 o'clock tonight. That thunderstorm up in Iowa is still there over on the eastern side, but the rest of the United States really, really quiet. You know, and I know you're probably getting tired of hearing about the temperatures because it's hot, and it is hot again today. You know, there's no major excessive heat warnings going on, so the humidity is down a little bit. Currently, you know, we're in the 80s already. By this afternoon, 3 o'clock, you know, we're going to be triple digits again here in the Dallas-Fort Worth area. Oak City, 98 degrees. Just look at all those dark reds and oranges. That's, you know, 90s or above. And so just a lot of heat throughout the United States today yet. So be aware of that. You know, make sure you're drinking plenty of water, staying hydrated, taking care of the pets, checking on family and friends, making sure they're doing okay in this heat. If you get overworked or exerted, hey, take that break. If you're feeling dizzy from being out in the sun or the heat, you know, rest up. Don't get behind that wheel if you're not feeling, you know, if you're not feeling good. So that's the weather for today. This week's safety topic has been Drive Smart. It's an acronym. SMART is an acronym. And you know, the S stands for scan. You know, look ahead 12 to 15 seconds. Keep your eyes moving, really. Number 2, or M, is measure. The M is measure your risk. And so as you're looking ahead, you're identifying hazards. You got to measure which ones are real, which ones, you know, take the most attention. You know, and then the A is anticipate actions. You know, as we drive, we see a lot of vehicles doing different stuff. So we have to kind of anticipate what they're going to do just from experience and by the signals they're giving us, their turn signal, if they're weaving a little bit, are they paying attention, distracted. You know, the R stands for reach a decision. So as we're taking all this information in, we have to start formulating our decisions and deciding, hey, what are we going to do, and plan our escape routes. We always have to leave ourselves an escape route based on, you know, what the hazard is that we're perceiving. And then if you have to, trust your decision. You guys are professional, you people are professional, you've been through this. Trust your decision. If you've looked at all the other pieces of the smart driving, you'll know you'll have the right decision. And again, a lot of times it's just going to be that space in front of your vehicle. You know, what speed are we going at? How much space do we have? Can we stop safely in that space? And so that's your safety tip for the week. Just remember SMART. Drive smart. Scan, measure risk, anticipate actions, reach a decision, and then trust your decision. So there you go with that. And let's look at some videos this morning, see what we have going on.
First step, cruising pacing.
I call this first one cruising and pacing, and I love the, the drivers keep sending these videos in for us to look at. The cruise control is on, and so we are staying just 0.9, less than a second behind the vehicle ahead of us, and part of that is because the cruise control is on. And that's a great thing. Cruise is a wonderful tool to use, but when we recognize, and we have to recognize we're too close here, just bump that cruise down a couple miles per hour, create that space, and then you can set the cruise back on and you'll have the right space. We look at it, speed limit here is 65, and we're right at that 65, 66 mile an hour right all the way through this video. So we just have to back it off a little bit, create that space, get over that second mark, because right now we're just too close, and you don't have that space to come to a controlled stop with the vehicle in front of us does something major going on. Like I said, this is a divided 4-lane. Looks like we're coming into maybe a city or something, and so the outs aren't all that good. Practice your speed and space. Just create that space, slow it down a little bit. You bump that cruise back on. You're not going to lose any time if you do that.
Next one, just back off.
What else can I say on this? We're 0.7 seconds behind. We're traveling 67, 66 miles an hour. We're just too close. We just have to back off. I mean, that's just the key right there is back off, create that space, and then let's go. But have to recognize, doesn't make him a bad driver, because, we drive 500-600 miles a day. We get ourselves in situations where we may be too close. But we just have to recognize that we're too close, and then we just have to start backing off. Correct it. Once we recognize what's going on, hey, I'm too close, I need to back off a little bit. Do that. Back off, create that space, and away we go. You're not losing the time you think you are.
Not all HVs are bad.
Yep. Not all harsh brakes are bad, and this is, what triggered this video, and the driver said is we had a harsh brake, and you look, we had debris in the roadway. We're got to have that big picture, and driver does a great job in this one of watching what's going on ahead of him and everything. Sees that car slow down, the brake light swerves a little bit, our speed is well under what the posted speed limit is, and then we have that barrel, which is turned in such a way that the reflective tape really isn't showing at all, and so right until we come up upon it, it's really hard to see. But if we don't have control, if we are not slowing down, if we're not aware of the whole big picture, the situational awareness, this could hit differently, where we run over a barrel, do damage to a truck, tire, whatever. And so great job by the driver. Speed and space management is very good in this one. We're slowing down, we're watching what's going on ahead of us. And so great job, driver, missing that barrel, and keep up the good work.
Not the right or safest choice.
Coming up to a protected intersection. This is a big intersection, and folks, intersections are dangerous. Yes, the driver went through on a yellow arrows. That's not what the BCB way, that's not the safest choice you can make. When you see those yellow arrows, yellow lights, you should be stopping. Driver had great speed here. He was going slow enough. Speed limit's 35, and I think when we approach the intersection, we're at the low 20s. We need to stop. We need to do the safest, make the safest decision in this case. Keep that intersection clear. Yellow isn't to speed up and go through it, or to quick go through it before it changes. Yellow is to stop. And that's the safest decision, safest choice the driver could have made in this one. Just have to think about that, protect lives, because now let's look at this. We're going through this light on a yellow. And so if there's anybody following him, if there's a car or another vehicle behind this truck and can't see those lights, they're going to follow him right through on that yellow or red light also. And so it's about protecting lives. If we stop before we get in that intersection on a yellow, we don't lead anybody out there on a yellow or red light. So just have to think about that, make the safest choices.
Speed is right, space is not.
Looking at the speed limit, we're 5 miles underneath. The driver's thinking, hey, I'm doing really good. And it is. It is a great job of managing your speed. But the second part is managing your space. We're still under a second behind the vehicle ahead of us. And we're in a city area. We see lots of traffic, and we can see we have off ramps, on ramps, and merge points. And so space becomes even more important on this. And so we just have to, manage both things, speed and space. It's a dual pronged thing.
Big picture. Last one.
Okay, and again, we're too close. We're under a second. We're 0.6 of a second. And the other thing that's going on here is we talk about, or have been talking about, you know, the big picture, what's going on, your situational awareness. 3 lanes of traffic, pretty heavy traffic or moderate traffic. We have a merge point coming on. We see a vehicle coming on in this merge point. So we have to start, you know, that's, you know, when we measure our risk, we have to think, hey, there's a risk. That vehicle's coming on. Where is he going to try merging at? What space do I have? Because in the end here, driver does a great thing, slows down a little bit, lets that vehicle merge. Had we done that before that, had we had the proper space going a little bit slower, this wouldn't even been an issue where he had to slow down a little bit more for him, because we've already managed that. We've already taken the action that needs to be taken, because we see the merge point, we see traffic coming on, we recognize we're too close, we start backing off, we create the space that we need. Okay, you know, and yesterday we showed a video, we showed a motorcycle accident, a video of that, and it was, you know, kind of tough to watch, because, you know, the vehicle just swerved right over into him. Obviously didn't see him for whatever reason. Don't know if he's distracted. There was 2 people in the truck, and so may have been talking, or just didn't expect him, just wasn't looking for it. Was talking to another driver this morning. There was a pretty bad accident on I-20 over in Louisiana involving a motorcycle. Hopefully that motorcyclist lives. Hopefully, you know, doesn't die. But folks, what I'm trying to get across here, want to get across here, is we have to be on the lookout for motorcycles. You know, if we're looking for motorcycles, we'll see cars and trucks. But if we're looking for cars and trucks, we probably won't always see that motorcycle. So, you know, it's that situational awareness, that defensive driving. Have to be looking for the unexpected. Right now it's summertime. We see a lot more motorcycles out there, and yes, sometimes they do crazy things, but we have to be on the lookout for them, because, you know, this is twice in 2 days that, you know, drivers that we know have seen a pretty bad motorcycle accident. You know, it did the vehicle that hit the motorcycle see the motorcycle? So we just really have to raise our awareness about motorcycles. Know that they're out there. Be looking for them, because like I said, if you're looking for them and you see them, you're going to see the cars and the trucks. But if you're focusing on seeing cars and trucks, you may not always see that motorcycle. So, you know, let's do a little bit of motorcycle awareness for them. You got anything else going on? Hey, with that, I'm going to close it with a quick prayer. Dear Heavenly Father, we thank you for all the knowledge and experience that you give these professional drivers. Allow them to use that knowledge, experience, share it with others to make it home safely so they can see their families. Dear Lord, help everyone that's out on the road today have a safe day, make good choices, and get home safely. In your Son's name, we ask this, amen. Hey, thank you for tuning in to BCB Live, the safest station in the nation.